It's 7:23 a.m. on a day that begins with a deluge, and congratulations, you're born. But not just any birth, no. You've been baptized by tempest and tide, thrust into existence as Furina, a name whispered by mortals and deities alike, destined to command the very essence of water and justice. Your life isn't a warm embrace. It's an icy plunge into a realm where every droplet shouts your curse. Your first memory isn't of a lullaby or a mother's caress, it's the roar of the ocean and the sting of salt on your skin. You come into this world as the unintentional heir to a legacy that's as magnificent as it is monstrous. See, while other infants cooed in cozy cribs, you were thrust into a swirling vortex of divine expectations and tragic irony. Your name, Furina, is etched into the annals of ancient lore. Legend has it that centuries ago, the primordial ocean god, an enigmatic being with a temper as fierce as a tsunami, looked upon the mortal realm and decided that balance was needed. In a moment of divine whimsy, or perhaps cosmic misfortune, he blessed you with the torrential power of water. But as with every blessing in these twisted realms, there was a catch. You were cursed to bear the burden of eternal justice and sorrow. Your childhood? Oh, it was anything but a fairy tale. Instead of playful giggles and innocent wonder, your early years were spent navigating a labyrinth of duty and despair. Imagine a little girl splashing in a shallow pond, each raindrop a miniature reminder of the tidal responsibilities waiting for you. Your neighbors, those well-meaning mortals, whispered of your divine destiny, yet you couldn't shake the feeling that destiny was a cruel trickster, always a step ahead of your innocent pleas for freedom. At school, if you can call the hallowed halls of the Aquatic Academy a school, you were the odd one out. While other children played tag in sunlit courtyards, you found yourself gazing longingly at the endless horizon, dreaming of a life unbound by the relentless cycle of duty. Your teacher, Master Marinus, would drone on about the sacred duty of the archon, citing ancient scrolls and water-worn myths. And every time he did, you'd roll your eyes so hard you nearly summoned a mini tornado of frustration. It wasn't long before your heart was shattered by a revelation so brutal it made the ocean's fury seem like a gentle drizzle. One fateful day, while the Academy's grand fountain cascaded its eternal flow, you discovered that your powers were not merely a gift, they were a sentence. Each time you cried, torrents would break free. Every surge of anger unleashed whirlpools that swallowed hopes whole. You learned that you were both the nurturer and the destroyer. One moment you'd conjure a mesmerizing arc of water to heal a wounded friend. The next, you'd inadvertently drown the laughter in the air with a tempest of tears. That day, two irrefutable truths were carved into your soul. You are the unwilling vessel of divine wrath, and the universe has a sick sense of humor. Fast forward a decade. By now, you've reluctantly embraced your role as the archon of Fontaine, a title as heavy as a sunken ship. You're the living embodiment of water's relentless flow, meant to wash away the sins of the past and carve a path towards a just future. But let's be honest, the life of a divine water-bearer is less about glory and more about drowning in obligations. Your daily routine is a chaotic dance between ceremonial duties and rebellious impulses. At dawn, you rise with the tide, orchestrating sacred rituals that are meant to maintain balance in a world that seems determined to spiral into madness. Picture this. As the first rays of sunlight break over a restless sea, you stand at the palace balcony, commanding the waves with a flick of your wrist. The water glitters like shattered dreams, each ripple a testament to your reluctant might. And yet beneath that serene facade lies a storm of frustration and longing. Oh, but your life isn't all solemn ritual and brooding melancholy. No, fate has a wicked sense of timing. Just when you think you might escape the suffocating mantle of destiny, calamity rears its hydrous head. On what was supposed to be a routine inspection of Fontaine's sacred aqueducts, disaster strikes. A colossal, rogue geyser erupts from the depths, a manifestation of pure, unbridled chaos. The water surges like an enraged beast, demolishing centuries-old statues and sending citizens scrambling for cover. You rush to contain the pandemonium, only to find that your intervention makes matters worse. In your desperation, your powers flare up uncontrollably. Streams of water morph into torrential floods. Your attempts to pacify the rogue gazer results in a scene that looks less like a heroic act and more like a water park gone mad. Citizens laugh nervously, officials frown in disbelief, and you're left wondering, is this really what divine responsibility feels like? In the midst of this watery chaos, a mysterious figure emerges. A rogue water spirit named Naiad, with eyes as deep as the Marina Trench and a grin that suggests she knows all your secrets. Naiad claims to have been born from the very same curse that binds you, an outcast from the deep, with tales of legendary misadventures and whispered rebellions against fate. According to her, your lineage is a twisted tapestry woven with betrayal, sacrifice, and a dash of cosmic irony. You see, dear Furina, she murmurs with a mischievous glint, the gods sometimes make mistakes. They hand you power, but forget to give you a say in how to use it. Her words echo in your mind long after she vanishes into the swirling eddies of the disaster you nearly caused. And so, your internal rebellion takes root. You start questioning everything. The divine edicts, the endless ceremonies, even the very fabric of the fate you've been forced to live out. You dream of a day when you can break free, when the tides will finally turn in your favor. Yet every glimmer of hope is met with a brutal reminder of reality. The lore of your kind is a relentless burden. Scrolls tell of your ancestors, mighty beings who once commanded tempests and reshaped continents. They were revered and feared for their indomitable spirit and unyielding justice. But their tales also speak of isolation and heartbreak. Each generation, the Hydro Archon has borne the weight of expectation, sacrificing personal desire at the altar of duty. And you? You're the latest link in that tragic chain. One such lore recounts a time when your forebearer, Queen Hydrana, was forced to choose between saving her people from an all-consuming flood or succumbing to the wrath of an enraged sea god. In the end, she chose duty, her heart shattering as the rising waters claimed her beloved. That story, passed down like a cursed lullaby, haunts you every time you catch a glimpse of your reflection in the rippling surface of a pond. You see not a deity, but a lonely soul chained by destiny. And as if the cosmic irony wasn't enough, fate loves to add insult to injury. At the annual Summit of Elements, a grand assembly of deities and mortals alike, your supposed allies turn their gaze upon you with a mixture of reverence and disdain. Your peers, each flaunting their elemental might, exchange furtive glances and whispered rumors. Some claim that your powers are a double-edged sword, capable of healing yet equally destructive. Others dare to suggest that the divine water coursing through your veins is tainted by an ancient curse, a remnant of a forbidden pact between gods and mortals. The whispers sting. Every accolade feels like a shackle, every blessing a reminder that you're not free to choose your own path. You are the embodiment of divine irony, destined to wash away sins yet unable to cleanse your own sorrow. And so, you retreat into solitude, seeking solace in the quiet corners of Fontaine's sprawling waterways, where the currents whisper secrets of lost dreams and forbidden freedoms. But, oh, the universe isn't done toying with you yet. Just when you begin to accept your fate, an event of epic proportions shatters the fragile calm. During a grand ritual meant to celebrate the unity of all elements, a surge of uncontrolled power explodes from within you. The ceremony, held in the Great Hall of Cascades, a structure of glass and water that refracts the light into 1,000 hopeful colors, transforms into a spectacle of chaos. In an instant, you're enveloped in a maelstrom of liquid fury, your powers spiraling out of control. The cascading waters turn violent, lashing out like serpentine tendrils. Mortals scatter, divine beings frown, and in that fleeting moment you realize that you are not just a protector, you're a potential harbinger of annihilation. Amidst the chaos, a revelation slams into you like a tidal wave. Your power, your very existence, is not an accident of the cosmos, it's a meticulously crafted trap. The intricate lore that binds you reveals that your fate was sealed long before you drew your first breath. The divine contract signed by the ancient ocean god stipulated that every Hydro Archon must one day face a reckoning, a moment where the balance of the world hinges on the sacrifice of the one who wields the water. And that day, dear Furina, has arrived. It's in that moment of explosive, uncontrollable power that you remember Naiad's cryptic words. The realization that you're not merely a pawn, but a weapon of divine consequence ignites a spark of defiance within you. No longer can you stand by idly as the currents of fate drag you toward an inevitable catastrophe. You must choose. Do you continue to play the role assigned to you, or do you risk everything for a shot at freedom? Thus begins a journey into the heart of your own myth. You embark on a quest to unearth the hidden truths of your lineage, to question the ancient lore that binds you like chains of brine. Along the way, you encounter a motley crew of allies and adversaries. A charming trickster who claims to have stolen a drop of your divine essence, a repentant knight whose armor glows with the reflection of 1,000 tears, and a mysterious scholar obsessed with the cryptic verses of the Water Chronicles. Each encounter is a lesson in irony and resilience. One such ally, a jovial yet enigmatic figure named Pelagos, regales you with made-up yet oddly comforting tales of previous Hydro Archons who defied their destiny. Did you know? He chuckles as you both sit by a crackling bonfire on a rain-soaked night. That Queen Hydrana once turned an entire battalion of invaders into a coral reef? They still say the fish whisper her name in the deep. His stories, while embellished beyond recognition, spark in you a glimmer of hope that maybe, just maybe, you can rewrite your own fate. Yet, the closer you get to unraveling the mysteries of your past, you realize that every step forward is mired in sorrow and sacrifice. The ancient scrolls hint at a dark secret. The divine power that courses through you was not solely meant to be a force of order. It was also a tool of retribution, a mechanism designed to punish the transgressions of mortals and gods alike. Your every action, every ripple of water you command, is a double-edged reminder of a destiny that offers no true escape. One fateful night, while deciphering a crumbling manuscript in the hidden archives of the Oceanic Sanctum, you stumble upon a most damning truth. The manuscript speaks of a future where your power will be wielded not as a beacon of hope, but as a weapon of total annihilation. In a grim twist of fate, the Hydro Archon's legacy is revealed to be nothing more than a ticking time bomb, destined to erase not only your enemies, but also everything you've ever held dear. The weight of this revelation is crushing. Your mind reels as you try to comprehend the full extent of your curse. The divine contract, the ancient lore, the cosmic irony, it all converges into one overwhelming truth. You were never meant to choose. Your destiny was scripted in the swirling eddies of time, a predetermined path where every drop of water, every ripple in the current, leads inexorably to ruin. And yet, amid the overwhelming despair, there is a defiant ember of rebellion burning within you. You realize that even if destiny has its designs, you are still the master of your own heart. With newfound determination, you vow to confront the architects of this tragic fate. You gather your allies, a motley band of misfits, each scarred by their own battles with destiny, and set out on a quest to challenge the very order of things. Your journey takes you through the labyrinth canals of Fontaine, across treacherous salt flats, and into the forgotten ruins of ancient temples, where the echoes of lost gods still resound. In every corner you encounter signs that the divine order is crumbling. Monuments that once glowed with sacred lights now lay in ruins, their inscriptions eroded by time and neglect. It's as if the universe itself is tired of the endless cycle of power and sacrifice. Amidst these ruins, you learn more about Furina's lore, a tapestry of blood, water, and bitter truths. You uncover the tale of a once vibrant civilization that worshipped the ocean as a living, breathing deity, only to be betrayed by their own hubris. Their downfall, you discover, was not wrought by external foes, but by the very hands of their chosen guardian. In a heart-wrenching twist, the civilization's last hope lay in a prophecy that one day a being born of water would rise to break the cycle and restore true balance. But instead of a savior, the prophecy foretold the rise of a tyrant, a figure whose divine wrath would drown the world in sorrow. And so, dear Furina, you stand at a crossroads. The divine blood in your veins is both a source of immeasurable power and a curse that chains you to an inevitable tragedy. Every step you take is a struggle against the weight of ancient lore and divine decree, Every ripple you create in the waters of destiny is a battle cry against a fate that seems preordained. But here's the kicker. Despite all the suffering, despite every harrowing challenge and every heartbreak, you still have that spark, a rebellious streak that refuses to be doused by even the mightiest deluge. In the quiet moments, when the storm outside subsides and you find yourself alone with the rhythmic lull of the tides, you dare to wonder if freedom is possible. Could you, the reluctant Hydro-Archon, ever break free from the chains of predestined sorrow? Is it possible to transform this curse into something more? The answers remain as elusive as the reflections in a choppy sea, but one thing is clear. Your journey is far from over. The world around you teeters on the brink of chaos, and you, born of water, burdened with divine wrath, must decide whether to continue playing the role written in ancient scrolls or to carve a new destiny with your own trembling hands. So, you push onward, through floods of despair and undercurrents of defiance, determined to rewrite lore that has defined you for far too long. You challenge the very essence of divine order, hoping that in the end you might just be the one to finally break the cycle of endless tragedy. With every drop of water you command, every storm you summon, you send a silent message to the cosmos. I am more than a tool of fate. I am Furina, and I will not be defined by the tyranny of destiny. You fought tides, questioned ancient edicts, and dared to dream of a future where destiny isn't a death sentence. Yet here you stand, the weight of divine lore still pressing upon your shoulders, the storm within ever unpredictable. In the quiet after the storm, as the last ripple fades into the horizon, you can't help but ask, is freedom just an illusion? Or will you dare to reshape your fate once more? What will you choose when the next tide comes crashing in?